Hey YouTube, Motor Racing Network, Steve Post, and we have more Diecast, and we have a big event coming up. It's race week in Charlotte, so we've got a lot to tell you about. Let's take a look at new Diecast, and really, we have one new Diecast in. It's the Danica Patrick GoDaddy Pink 1/64th scale car. I'm just going to tell you, folks, I was just over in the shipping department, and they are shipping these out wholesale, it seems like. Every other car was a Danica Patrick Pink 1/64th scale car, so you better get it, and you better get it today. This car is going, of course, pink is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Danica Patrick has done so much, and here we have her 1/64th scale car, and I kid you not, they are flying off the shelves at planbsales.com, so you can check us out there, or your local Diecast dealer might have an inventory of those as well. Now, what we want to talk about is our big weekend ahead. First off, it starts out with our warehouse sale, and there on the screen you can see the hours and some of the details of our warehouse sale. So we are excited and we are fired up about what's going to happen this week here at Plan B Sales here in Concord, North Carolina. Now, what we're really excited about is Saturday afternoon, 1:30 to 2:30, and that's before the gates open. Gates open, I think, right at 2 o'clock, so before the gates open at 1:30, we are having a driver autograph session. We have Josh Wise coming over, we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr., we have Justin Allgaier coming in, and we have Kyle Larson. And we have Kyle Larson cars everywhere here. In fact, you can see some of the cars that we have here, from the Clorox one to the silver paint scheme of the Target car to the night car to the day car. We have got your Kyle Larson Diecast, and you can get it signed this Saturday afternoon from 1:30 to 2:30. We also have a boatload of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Diecast available to sell as well. Josh Wise is going to be here, and we just love when we get a chance to hang out with Josh Wise. He's one of those young drivers you're going to want to meet. And how about Justin Allgaier? A couple weeks ago, he ran the Plan B Sales car, and that car, unfortunately, not available. We have been told, though, by our friends at Lionel that they are doing everything possible to get some Brant cars in for us this week for Justin Allgaier's autograph session. That, again, is Saturday afternoon from 1:30 to 2:30. And again, the details of the warehouse sale are right there on your screen, so you can see when we're doing it. Great deals, great buys, all kinds of great things here at the warehouse sale, and we're just very excited to be part of the NASCAR community when NASCAR comes to Charlotte for race week. So there you have it as far as the Diecast review portion. Stay with us, though. The post show is coming up next. It's time for our favorite part of this Diecast review show, and it is the post show. And again, these are your questions from right down below. Man, we've had a boatload of questions, and we just wish we could get to all of them, but time only permits us to get to a few of them. But keep those questions coming in because we like to get them. Love this one. Jaguar Sports JP writes in and says, do you think Martin Truex Jr. has a shot of winning a race in 2014? A week ago, I'd have said no. I don't know now. Martin Truex Jr. looks like they're getting their footing there. And while they may not win one of the intermediate tracks or at Martinsville, I have a hunch they're going to be tough to beat down at Talladega. So, do I think Martin Truex Jr. can win a race? I still think it's a long shot, but I think it's a little bit better. They seem to be running better, and Martin Truex Jr. can get around Talladega. He's got a number of Nationwide Series wins there. So, I'm in the maybe category, and that's moved up from the no category over the last couple of weeks with Martin Truex Jr. Lover of K-Love Car. I think that might be a Michael McDowell fan. Lover of K-Love Car. With Kansas and Talladega as two of the three races in this second round, the contender round, how is Kyle Busch going to survive? Now, that's a question that came in before Kansas, obviously, and Kansas was Kyle Busch's nemesis. That place and him just didn't get along. But if you watch the race on Sunday, you know Kyle Busch with a third-place finish, and it was a nemesis for a lot of other guys, so I just don't know. This whole chase thing is so topsy-turvy, I really am not sure, but Kyle Busch survived Kansas. That's really good for him. He's good at Charlotte, and Talladega is kind of a random thing, so we'll see how Kyle Busch does going through this contender round and see if he can be one of the elite drivers, the 8 drivers to make it into the eliminator round. Question is, who do you think will be the last 4 in the chase? That's a great question. Spur Racing Matt Stewart. If you look at the bottom 4, right now in the standings, I had 3 of them in my 4 finalists. So Kansas just absolutely messed everything up. I had Brad Keselowski, I had Jimmy Johnson, I had Dale Earnhardt Jr., and I have Jeff Gordon. in my Final Four. Now, the one I have a problem with is Joey Logano, and with what happened at Kansas, I'm going Joey with my Final Four. And this is the beauty of, see, my bracket can move because I didn't write ink in mine, okay? My bracket is moving, so now I've got Joey Logano. I still think Brad Keselowski, because I think he's got a shot at winning Charlotte, and that will pick him up after that disaster at Talladega. And 2 of the Hendrick cars, I'm thinking Jeff Gordon, and I'm not sure, but I really wonder if Jimmy Johnson or Dale Earnhardt Jr. might be eliminated here in the contender round. They're in such a big hole. Charlotte next, Talladega next. Who knows what's going to happen? That's why this chase is fascinating to watch. If I wrote down a bracket, it would be destroyed right now. So I'm not sure you need to put much value in who my Final Four are going to be. And finally, Mr. Whaley writes in and says, Steve, what do you think of the 2015 rule changes? Well, pretty early in the process here on this, but I go by what I'm hearing from drivers and crew chiefs, and I'm rather optimistic about this. Had some time with Jamie McMurray, and we spent some time with him at Dover to talk, and Jamie did that test at Michigan, and what these new rules are, the less horsepower is kind of a question mark, but I understand what they're doing. Here's the story on the less horsepower, and this is something that doesn't get talked about much, but we'll share it right here with you folks. Less horsepower is a 2-step process. They want to get less horsepower in 2015, and the ultimate goal is to see if they can get multiple races out of the engines in 2016. So the decreased horsepower is one aspect of this. I think where this makes better racing, despite the decreased horsepower, is the fact that they're decreasing the downforce on the race cars. And drivers will have to spend more time off the accelerator in the corners. And Jamie McMurray talked about that. At a track like Michigan, you get down in the corner and you might burp the throttle, or you might come off for 1 second and back down on it. Well, that puts you all on go-karts, just riding around at the same speed, waiting for someone to slide up the racetrack or anything. Now, what Jamie McMurray says the less downforce is going to do is mean they're going to have to be braking down in the corners, less time on the accelerator, wrestling the race car up and down the racetrack, because less downforce means less handling, and the guy that can get back to that gas is going to be able to pass somebody. We'll see what happens. I'm encouraged by what I hear on the 2015 rules change. We'll just have to see how it plays out. And there we have it. Your questions on the post show here on our Diecast review show. Keep those questions coming in those forms right down below. We love chatting and talking NASCAR racing. Remember the big warehouse sale all this week here at Plan B Sales, and Saturday, the autograph session with Kyle Larson, with Ricky Stenhouse, with Justin Allgaier, with Josh Wise, 1:30 to 2:30, right here at Plan B Sales. All the Diecast available at your local Diecast dealer or at planbsales.com. We love that you guys are getting involved with us here on YouTube. We have the comments below. Feel free to mention your comments here. Follow us on Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we'll keep you informed on what we have. And please get some back and forth conversation going, because we love talking racing and love talking with you race fans out there, and we appreciate the business you do give us.